Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Between the Sheets podcast. We're here at the United Broadcasting Network here in the beautiful city of Burbank. We have lovely people here tonight. Some of the crew's here, some of the crew's not. You know how we have to rotate it. Well, I'll get this out of the way. Instagram, QTE Brat. I hate doing this to plug. Facebook, Between the Sheets, BetweenTheSheetsPodcast.com, and then we have a YouTube channel that you can hear all the past shows. So it is November 1st. Happy November 1st. I want to introduce everyone, and then I want to talk about something that's been happening in the state of California, at least down here, I think. So we have Roxanne.
Hi.
Cara. Mara. Oh my God, it's like Cara, Mara.
Cara and Mara.
We have
Delisha.
I just don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, you did.
And then we have our lovely, and then Tonya at the boards, and we have our lovely, lovely, wonderful guest tonight, Tonya Lemmons. Say hello.
Hi, Tonya.
Hello.
She is baked.
Highly baked.
And then we have just a wonderful person, a comedian who's been just around the community a long time. Yes, she's gay. But it's
old, apparently.
No, not old. I've been around a long time. We've all been, except for them. I think when we were around, those two weren't born, but other things were good. Jennie McNulty. So let's welcome them to our round table. I just want to start off before we get into why Jennie and Tonya are here and other things that are on the pike is California's been burning a lot. And anyone who's out there, you know, you have our, I don't like to say prayers because it then takes a religious connotation, but, you know, we're sending you love and light and blessings. You know, seek out help. If people say to evacuate, don't be, you know, it's only things, and I know things have memories and things have like right in here, but your life, your pets, your children, really that's more important. You can rebuild, and yeah, it's hard, but you know, you have our thoughts and prayers with you. If you need anything, I posted on my Facebook. If anybody needs a place to stay or anything, just email me on Facebook. I've got space, and if you need me to take some animals, I can't, so let me know. But you know, someone at this table was kind of marginally affected by the fire. Why don't you take it and explain what happened today?
So, hi, I'm Delisha. Last night as I was driving home, the Maria fire broke out in Santa Paula, which is where I live, and it was on the South Mountain side, which is luckily on the other side of the freeway from where I'm at, but just about 2 miles from me. And the Thomas fire a few years ago started about 2 miles from me on the other side. So, unfortunately, They still, last I checked, was zero containment, and it's burned about 12,000 acres. And sadly, it burned my my ex-partner's 18-year-old home, and I kind of watched it from the side of the freeway today, and just knew that the flames were engulfed in the Deep End Ranch, and it's just like so many concerts and just memories, and it's just hard. It's not just four walls, you know. That's your home, and it's hard. And I too have a spare room, so if there's somebody in Santa Paula or Ventura that needs space, I have available.
I mean, it's just weird the way it's just popping up. I mean, I was just driving down here and I saw a plume of smoke in the Burbank Glendale Hills. Excuse me, and I don't know if there's a real fire burning in the hills, but it could be just a house fire. But either way, it's just freaky.
It's scary.
It's just really, really scary.
For sure. It was actually a building fire because I was on the 5 freeway driving, and I thought it was in the hills, but so there's a building fire right off the 5, and then right behind it, it's a bigger fire up in the hills. Did they say how your fire started yet?
It's a brush fire. That's all they know. And then there's some idiot yesterday was flying a drone while the helicopters and planes were up there trying to put the fire out. And they had to land because this idiot was flying his drone. It's like his or her. I'm guessing it's a guy, but what?
It probably is.
It could be a they or a them. Let's be all inclusive here.
He might have been baked.
It could be a they.
Yeah,
or
he might have been baked. You're right.
Non-binary, gender, whatever. It could be anybody. No labels, people.
Money for TMZ.
Yeah, TMZ probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, just think, people, you know, like that fire could have been contained, and now it's burned 12,000 acres because, you know, it's
But I want to send a shout out and love to the firefighters because they're wonderful.
For sure.
So thank
Thank
you guys.
so much.
I doubt any of you are listening here because you're busy. But if you ever do, we really thank you. Thank you for everything.
For sure. And today, as I was driving home, I saw 6 Los Angeles County fire trucks coming on the freeway to fight the fires in Santa Paula. So thank you, Los Angeles. Thank you, all of the counties that are outside of Ventura that come in to help,
Yes, definitely.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Prisoners actually work for the fire department. They don't get to be actual firemen, but they are put out. They often work in the areas
In the
where there's lots
fields.
of brush.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, they make
Yeah, the
license
CDC,
plates
the
too, don't
California.
But then when they
Yeah,
come
they
out
do.
of prison, they don't get to be a fireman, which is very unfair.
they? That is unfair.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, everybody. So
Ironic
thank you.
if they were in for arson, too.
That would be an issue. So everybody, let's call in. Call in to us. We're here, all of us, to ask questions. 323-524-2599. 323-524-2599. So without further ado, that's the Jersey in me. I'm going to just start off with talking to Tonya.
All right.
Tonya is a writer,
Yes.
a promoter, a producer, a performer, and does slam poetry and a million other sort of types of performance things.
I try to be funny.
So you are starting the Women Power Tour.
Yes.
Can you explain, if you can, in 20 words or less, how
20 words or less,
how
yeah.
did this idea come about, and then who's performing? I mean, just sort of tell me how it came together.
Well, I was a teacher for 19 years, and I've always loved comedy, music, and performing, like drama queen.
You do not look like a drama queen
I
in
taught-
any world, okay?
I taught drama, like put on whole drama productions of kids.
That's cool.
And like
What
I've
was this, high
always
school?
loved theater. I've always loved that aspect. But like bringing in comedy, I'm under 20 words, girl. Come on, help me.
I think you passed the limit already.
It's okay. I'm playing.
But so like 2 years ago, I moved back. I decided to retire from teaching after 19 years, and I started doing stand up and loved it. And then I'm like, oh, I want to do my own show. Like I want to produce my own show. Like, and then I'm like, I need to add music and like do like Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah.
Because I put on wigs and just show up as character and do sketch and then bring people on stage that have never even been on stage before. But I love the woman aspect of it. So like in the last 2 years, my dreams have just been driven more to involve women on stage and empower women.
Where can we join you on stage?
Oh, yeah,
Let's join you on stage.
Okay,
I'm
so-
chomping at the
what is to
bit.
do
So
and
I
when?
want to go on stage.
I've done like 5 shows. Okay, in 2 years' time, I've done like 5 shows. Sean Wiggins is like my biggest inspiration. Like, she's been my star. And that's how I eventually met Jennie and all these other musicians. But like, Sean Wiggins is my big star, and we're going to have a show at Queen Bee's. But our big show, which I'm still it's an 8-hour. Okay, I know you've booked entertainment.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so I've gone from like 3 hours to like an 8-hour show. Like, but that's February, so
February 1st.
yes, February 1st in Walnut Grove, San Marcos.
And then the Queen Bee show, which is kind of like the precursor to it. That's
well, one of the foreplay shows, we just had a show at Gossip Grill. Very successful.
Oh, San Diego.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that place.
I like Gossip Grill too.
Is San Marcos around that area?
San Marcos is further north of San Diego.
Okay.
It's North County, so it's closer to where we're at.
Okay.
And the Queen Bee show is on January 18th.
The Queen
correct?
Bee show is in North Park, so that's closer to where Gossip Grill is. That's January 18th, so that's so that's one of I call it the foreplay show.
Does that mean because it's like leading up to the big finale, which is
Yes.
then when you come out?
The big finale I've got Ada Vox, which is like
Oh, she's great.
you know Ada.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
She was
like,
on American Idol.
Yeah, she was 8th on American Idol. And I've got Ronnie Lee, who we're going to play Ronnie Lee's music and Sean Wiggins' music. but all women performers. I got this amazing comedian over here.
Yay.
And I got another San Diego comedian who's just hitting it off right now. Like, she was Madhouse Comedy Club yesterday, hosting the whole event herself. Cool. Like, she's only in her 20s, too. Like, and she's like, we need to hit up Nikki Glazer. We need to hit up Margaret Cho. And like, she's like telling you,
been there.
I'm like, okay. Well, I'm hitting up Gaye Ann.
Yes, she is. In a puritanical
I'm like,
sort of
wait
way.
a minute.
In a
Hitting up in
puritanical
what
sort of way.
Women power. Like, it's, comedy and music. And then I'm putting together a tour to take all these women to Thailand.
That's great.
Thailand.
Wow.
Where in Thailand?
Not out of Vox, but like a small group of women that are in the tour.
That's wonderful. So, Jenny.
Yes.
You have had a career.
I have.
A little longer.
A long time. I've been doing comedy for over 30 years now.
And you were born not in California.
No, I grew up in Detroit and
voice.
started doing
I know,
I know,
it's
sorry,
sexy,
I've got a
isn't
cold,
it?
you guys. You know, I sound like this. I grew up in Detroit. I started doing comedy in Detroit, went on the road and did a bunch of shows everywhere. Then I came out here to California and just kept doing it and kept doing it. I came out of the closet in 1999. And when I did that, it sort of shifted where I moved my comedy, because I went from regular comedy clubs where everybody performs to kind of doing more gay events and doing things like of that nature.
Why? Why? I mean, did that make a difference?
Yeah, I could make in one day what I made in a whole week at a comedy club.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a reason.
That's a really good reason. Yeah, but it's also, it was just a different. There were like, I did the Olivia trips and those kind of things where you're just kind of in a different environment. I do Pride shows and I still do the regular comedy shows and do regular clubs. I can, I don't have to do gay material, and I do though. Every time I perform, the only time I haven't done gay material since I've come out is when I did military tours, because they asked us to not be political. They asked us not to be confrontational. So they said they just wanted someone to take their mind off of where they were. So if I were on stage and they said something like, hey, when I'm like, sexually suggestive, I'd be like, hey, you got a sister? And I wore
That's funny.
rainbow everything while I was there. So I think they knew, at least the soldiers that needed to know knew.
But you are bicomedial.
I buy comedial.
Bicomedial is good.
In that you can buy my performance at any venue. I'll be there.
But what was your big first, like, your breakthrough?
It hasn't come yet.
Hey, me.
Yeah, there you go. There, sorry, that would have been it, Tonya. He's getting hooked up with the Women Power Tour. I've had a lot of really big things that have happened. I got to be on Logo Television. That really helped. I was just in a feature film with Tonya. I was in Freelancers Anonymous.
Nice.
And I'm just slowly kind of kicking things around. You just gotta, hang in there and keep doing it. But yeah, so I've done quite a bit. I also did a walking podcast. I'm trying to bring that back again because I have a degree in exercise science, and I played women's professional tackle football for 15 years when I got out here.
Wow.
I love sports. I always have. And so for me, I would go to a town and find a place to walk. And so I would walk around and learn about the town and then joke about it later on stage that night. So I came up with an idea for a show where I would an interview, instead we're just sitting down talking. We would go take a walk somewhere and encourage the viewer to download, walk along with us, trying to get people up and
that's
moving.
really cool.
Because people need to get moving to get their heads clear. More for this. I mean, obviously the physical things happen too, but it really clears your head. So.
Yeah, I mean, especially now, and we've had many discussions about clearing heads, but we don't put it that way. But we are so wrapped up in this that we can't really enjoy life. We go through it, but we're not really enjoying it. Yeah. And like, meditation. I mean, certain people meditate certain ways. I'm ADD. I can't do that.
It's hard for me too, yeah.
So what I do is I wake up really early, like at 5 o'clock in the morning. I have my coffee, feed the cats, because yes, I'm that crazy cat lady. Lesbian, of course. And I sit at my front porch, and I live in the mountains, and it's dark but now, and you just sort of watch nature come to life. Now, it's not saying that this isn't going, but you're watching this, and that's distracting at least me from having that rat race going on in my head.
And what I found too when I would interview people, they would almost always say, God, this was so much easier, because it's weird when you're sitting down being grilled in an interview versus he just feels really natural. You just walk in with a friend and the conversation flows more naturally, and it's a good way to.
No, I love that idea.
Sounds great.
Everyone, don't forget to call in 323-524-2599. I don't know if Tonya will be up for questions, but Jennie and the rest of us are.
She is.
I'm kidding. I just like to play with her. She grows, too.
You can play with me anytime.
I sense that's already kind of happening.
Don't even go there.
I'm kidding.
I am a professional.
I feel such an odd girl out here.
You're an honorary lesbian.
You're an
That's right.
Yes,
I
you're
am.
an honorary lesbian.
And
You
I'm
are.
0.4% Jewish as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there we
not-
go.
It's not your fault you were born that way.
There you go.
You're right.
We accept you.
I'm still trying.
We'll accept you.
We are all accepting.
Here we are.
We are. Whenever
Can
you're
I
ready.
give like a 2-minute story about my coming out?
Yes,
Like, I
please.
was in the closet for many, many years. I knew at the time I was 7.
Wow.
You knew when you were 7, yeah. So did you come out at 9?
No. Sadly not. In my book, I come out a little bit earlier. I start having sex earlier in my book. My character started having sex with women a little earlier, but no, only 4 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
What? 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
47.
That's interesting.
What did she say?
Why?
She came out
Why,
4 years
though?
ago.
I know.
Did you-
I exuded.
What did you look
right?
like 4 years
You
ago?
totally do.
Exuded.
No.
What did you look like?
You what?
Right? That's a great question.
I mean,
Look on
I think
Facebook.
she must have looked
because
different.
like you're a teacher. I mean, you were a teacher, right?
Yeah.
So did you?
I wish someone would have told me a long time ago, come out of the closet, get your ass.
But were you with guys?
yes.
Did you have? Okay, you're gonna say it.
But I've done
Did you have long hair?
I've done the whole stand-up routine about guys trying.
But now I'm really interested. You were going to tell us a story about
Yes,
you coming
go
out.
on.
So
Yeah, your coming out story.
Focus. That
wasn't her fault. We all
You wanted 2 minutes to tell us
she's
that.
like, shit, what was I saying?
No, I was
You
going to
came
tell
out
you that
for-
I knew because of religion. I grew up in a very religious Mormon family.
You're Mormon? You
But
were Mormon?
I wanted to give a shout out to my family that my brother just passed,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
and hopefully they're watching. I want to give a shout out to them. I love them. They've all accepted me since I've come out 4 years
That's
ago.
great.
Bravo.
Great.
Good.
So are you still a Mormon as well?
I've never been a Mormon. But there's
Yay.
pictures of me in front of the Mormon church with the whole outfit. And there was one time that they refused to let me in the sanctuary because I wore jeans.
Oh.
I sat outside the sanctuary.
Good job. I would wear jeans too.
It's like a
cold.
whole chapter in my book.
I'm glad
They're
your family
hard
accepts
ass.
you.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's unusual, right? For
Well, I
Mormons.
still get shit.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
of
is.
course.
It is.
I think you have to judge each Mormon family different because my neighbors are Mormons and they are the most wonderful, loving people, and they know that I'm a lesbian and they totally accept me, and they actually go out of their way to buy me emergency food kits and stuff.
Not another
So-
lesbian. How many are here?
You'll be converted one day,
Well,
Cora. Just letting you know.
They could be trying to make you a
Plan.
wife.
You haven't figured it out yet?
So let's hear about
We'll
that
bring you
story.
over to the other side.
That story of yours.
What story?
It's shake and bake
Okay,
here.
so
It's not
So
half
I'd like
baked.
to look
it's
at
full
everybody's
baked.
fingers because apparently
the
you can
middle.
look at people's fingers and
Yes.
tell if they're gay.
If
But
your-
I
this
know
finger's
I'm
longer than
gay.
that finger.
Sex with women blows my head off. I don't even have to take my clothes off.
I'm gay,
What's
but
the
look,
thing?
I'm
Look at your fingers.
Does
If you
Mel-
find
Okay.
your
but I'm a pillow queen, but I'm very careful when I have to reciprocate.
Okay.
But you have to
Look
You
at
would
your
have to
fingers.
be with
Everybody
those
look at
claws.
your fingers. If you find your fingers inside a woman, you are there.
It could
That's
just
the
have-
first sign you're gay.
It could just be that she is, and you happen to be there for that one time.
That's true.
And
It
then
just-
it's like the whole "I'm not gay, but my girlfriend is."
Right. Exactly.
Or they're gay for one night.
Oh, there are those.
Right. I mean, converting
Never
is
just
fun.
one night with me.
Oh, really?
Look, it doesn't take that much to convert someone, really.
It doesn't with me.
It just takes Kate Manning.
I know you like her.
We
already know you like her.
It's all
Your
because
STD
women are
report.
amazing, and women are attracted to what they see in themselves. The
That's
attractive qualities.
interesting that you say that.
I just
Do you
read
mean-
it in a book.
Oh,
Was it your book?
It was a fiction book called Daughters of a Coral Dawn. I'm
do
like,
you
oh,
mean women are attracted to physically what they see in themselves, or under
All
like
of it.
emotion? All of it. That's
women
interesting.
are more attracted to what they see in themselves, like the good qualities that they see in themselves.
That is such an interesting. And what book is that you said you?
Daughters of a Coral Dawn. Like I gotta get the actual wording down, but it's
It's
true. I think
What if you're always attracted to assholes, though?
Yeah, that's true.
obviously you're not attracted to the qualities, good qualities that you see in yourself.
What if you're only attracted to the crazy girls?
That means you're
That's
crazy.
another book.
Because you know they're good in
Roxanne,
sex.
look in the mirror.
Good in sex, good in bed. Exactly.
We will
That's a
move
compliment.
on from
That's
this.
just Sagittarius alone.
I love I love Sagittarius. I love fire
I remember
signs.
thinking like a whole new species was there when I looked at women completely differently. Once I let my mind go there, it was like, oh wow, women are just so much more vibrant. Sorry, no. Women are so much more.
He's gay. He doesn't care.
That's true. Still a guy.
I remembered that too. The day after I first slept with someone, a woman, I walked around the gym and I was like looking at all these women like, I know what's under there. And like, you think I would anyway, right? But it's like,
Haven't you ever used a mirror, Mara?
it's different though. It's different on those other women. Like,
No, the thing is, I'm with you though. Before you used to look at women, and I never really I just used to look at this. I was very superficial. It was always this. And then once I came out as gay, then I would like stare and go, I wonder what her tits look like under there.
that is less superficial now.
It is. I've actually moved down the whole part of the
Speaking about tits, you have the best tits of
Why,
the night.
thank
Look
you
at
very
them.
much. And they
I
are
mean, my
all
God.
real. All real.
100% real, baby.
Some Botox up here, but all real down here.
Nice.
And I don't care if everyone knows I use Botox. I don't give a fuck.
The first time I slept with a woman, it freaked me out because I never thought I would do it again. It totally grossed me out to the point where I just like ran away.
But
Literally.
then you
No joke.
had a change of heart then?
I guess.
Or-
Well, I was 12, so I don't know.
Oh.
That is young.
You slept with 12?
It was actually like a cousin of my neighbor who was 16 and was here from Chicago and kind of like seduced me. and, like,
That's
brought me
kind of
over
cool.
and, like,
How old
Oh,
was
you
she?
just weren't
Hey,
ready.
you ever seen
16.
this or you ever seen that? Like showing me all the magazines and stuff.
Dude, that's sweet.
And then she was like, "Well, no one's ever went down on me," and I'm like, "I'll do it. I'll do it." I was really eager, you know. And then I did. And I was like,
Nice.
"Oh, what is that?"
I was never a hi, I'll go down on you first kind of gal.
Oh my
I
God,
never-
did
never.
she squirt?
Oh, I didn't get that far. I was like,
She was
"Oh, I
12,
gotta
for
go." I
Christ's
was like,
sake.
"Gross, man."
For the record, I've always been, I'll go down on you, girl.
I've always been go down on me first and then let's see.
Let's see.
I mean, I always did. It just took me a while. But now it's not a problem whatsoever. But it shouldn't be at 55. You know, I mean, 56 almost. But let's get back let's get back on point.
Yes.
Point?
You're in trouble, Mara.
Well, am I
Well,
doing
it's
this?
Mara.
she's
Mara's
telling you
a
off.
bit much tonight.
Wait, am I blocking you? No. Okay.
So you also, I mean, you've traveled the world, right?
Yes, I have.
You have a show that I know. I was just actually telling Mara, we've got to get the girls together and go down to Ventura because you do a show down there. Why don't you tell us how that came about, how long you've done it, what's going on?
Me. I run the longest running monthly show they do there. We started right when the club opened, the Ventura Harbor Comedy Club. Randy, who I've known for years on the comedy circuit, one of the guys that own it, contacted me and said he wanted to do a rainbow gay night. Would I be interested? Did I know anyone? I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. So we've been doing that. So it's really fun because I bring up a bunch of comedians and then usually the comics will all do improv afterwards. We have a special show coming up November 14th. It's always the second Thursday of every month. This November 14th is Suzanne Westenhofer, so this is just going to be.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to be doing improv. Excuse me, improv. We're just going to let Suzanne shine. So it'll be a really fun show.
Which is really cool because Andrea Meyerson from Women on a Roll. I reached out to her to have her come on the show at some point as a guest. And she said, of course. And she said, do you want Suzanne? I'm like, yeah, but I don't know her. Hold on, I'm having breakfast with her. Yeah. And then Suzanne's like, oh, sure, I'll come on. So I would love, I want to come. I mean, I didn't know Suzanne was on there, but I think we'll all go.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
And then also.
You said that was November 14th?
November 14th. It's in Ventura, so you have to leave on the 12th of November.
Correct. Correct. But it's really not that far. I used to go back and forth. I mean, I love Ventura. I've always loved Ventura since I was working with a woman in 2009, and she lived down in Ventura. And I made the trip, and it's actually a beautiful trip. Not now because things are closed and stuff.
It's a fantastic place to live, I have to say.
I would love to live down there.
I thought we're sort of near Ventura right now.
No,
well, it's only
an hour and 15.
It takes me an hour to get home.
About an hour and 15.
An hour from here?
Yeah.
Like Magic
Holy
Mountain.
cow, I didn't think it was
It
that
took
long.
me an
Like
hour and 15 to get here from Culver
That's what I'm
City.
saying. Like in the traffic and all
Yeah,
that,
it
it
did
takes
take
you
me
an
that
hour and
long.
15
It took me
to
an
get
hour
2
and a half from
miles,
OC.
you know? It took me an hour and 15 minutes.
It
to
took
get
me
5
3
miles last
hours
night
from
LA
North
to
County.
LA.
Remember that scene in Clueless where the father's like, it's 20 minutes to get anywhere from the valley, anywhere.
Yes.
20 minutes.
Not anymore. It's
In
45.
1954.
Yes. It used to be.
It used to be. So I also know, because I'll see you tomorrow again, Windsor Presents. It's a function that they do occasionally,
Windsor
right?
Plaza Presents. Eve Reynolds puts these great comedy. They're like not comedy shows. They're usually music shows. And then I host them, do a little bit of comedy in between. Actually, Jackie Loeb, I don't know if you know, she's an Australian comedian. So she came and performed there. We had Jill Sobule there a couple months ago.
I Kissed a Girl.
Yes. And they're really fun, and they benefit each time we do them. They're a benefit for something. She's got a beautiful home. She's a wonderful architect, and it's in a nature preserve, like where her house is in Silver Lake. It's a beautiful, beautiful setting, and she's built this whole great big deck. So there's bands, and it's just really, really come from 2 to 5.
Yeah, tomorrow, November 2nd. You can go on Facebook. It's Windsor Presents.
Windsor Plaza Presents.
Windsor
isn't it?
Plaza
I think so,
Presents,
yeah.
sorry. More to Say is performing, Tammy Hall, and of course our I've already now
I like that.
our very
Yay.
own.
I'm part of the family
You sort
now.
of fit in.
I'm between the sheets.
You're
yeah.
between
There you
the
go.
sheets.
Between
Jennie
the sheets is a
McNulty.
good place to be.
And it's going to benefit this time Girls on the Run, Inc. And then I've got one more shameless promo because we are the media sponsors for this event. It's the Barn Ball, and that's Sunday in Santa Monica. Again, go online, the Barn Ball. From 6 to 10, I think. Sarah Brash, she put this whole thing together. Glitter Dome, I think, is the band that's playing, but it's amazing. Tickets are still available, I think, for both.
Yes,
you
get
can
them at
go
the door.
online.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be there tomorrow. I'll be there Sunday, but support your community. I mean, support your community. That's number one, at least for me. But then the Barn Ball is a fundraiser to help farm animals. So, I mean, we just really need to have a voice. I think a lot of people are armchair people, that they critics and why do we do this and why do we do that? Actually do something. I mean, last Sunday, most of us, we were at the Outfest Legacy Awards.
Yeah.
So, go out in your community. You don't have to be gay and do it. Just if you're straight, go out in your straight community, do something. There's a friend of mine that is collecting.
Don't care.
No, there's a friend of mine that just started a grassroots organization online, and she's collecting blankets and beddings for things. So, find something local. And if you don't want to get with an organization, then find something wonderful to do in your community. It's always great to give back. I believe so. And it doesn't always
Definitely.
necessarily mean you have to give money.
Right.
True, yeah.
So, Mara, I know
Yes.
you had some questions, and you were telling me on the ride here some of the funny bits of Jennie's show that you liked.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that one where she's like, "Yeah, you guys ever break up with your significant other?" And I just happened to do that a while ago, and yeah, she was leaving that moment when she's walking out the door, and you realize for the first time, damn, that was my CD player, something like that, right? And you're like, can you come back? We can make this work.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, growing up, how did you describe your first moment on stage doing comedy? I'd love to hear about that. What was that like?
I was working in a research lab at the University of Michigan, and as most comedians do.
Yes,
Correct. Yeah, I figured.
Yes, that's so funny.
And I was, I'd always wanted to be an entertainer. I was going to be a star. I wanted to do something like that. But I'd always played sports. And so theater and sports always ran at the same time. So I never was in theater. So then I just went to college like you do, and then my parents retired and moved to Florida, and I just got this job in the research thing because I didn't want to go to Florida. So then went back and got my master's in gym in kinesiology, and I was working in this research lab, and I thought, nobody's going to come in here and go, you there with that white rat, let me take you to Hollywood and make you a star. So I thought, I have to do something about this. And I always thought I was funny. My friends always thought I was funny. And I was making people in this research lab laugh. You make your friends laugh. That's one thing.
That's tough.
But I'm making these brain doctors laugh, right? And I thought, maybe I'm funny. So I was talking to one of the guys in there. And he's like, you're funny. You just need to do it. So I went and I watched 4 open mic nights. And the people there, some of them were great. Some of them looked like they had lost a bet. And I'm like, I know I could do at least that good. So I just tried it. And so I wrote down things because I worked in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan, and I lived about 45 minutes away. So I would kind of essentially write jokes on the way there just to amuse myself. So I wrote down some things. I wrote down some jokes that I knew and that I thought of. And then I signed up. The one open mic I went to, a dude I went to junior high school with was there. So we went up and talked to him, and I'm like, how do you do this? And he goes, you sign up on Thursday, you call up on Monday and find out whether or not you make the list for the open mic.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So I did it. And after I watched about 4 of them, I did it, and I was so nervous. I could literally see my heart pounding. I was just so scared, but I had a little, dating myself here, an audio recorder. Right? So I taped the set, and fortunately, it went really, really well. And the guy called me, say, hey, you want to come back tomorrow night and do it? And
nice.
So I, to this day, am still the queen of the free gig. That's me. That's me. But so I remember listening to that tape and just popping it into my car, and I went, I heard myself talking, and then I heard the audience laugh, and it was like every Steve Martin album I'd listened to, and it was just such a thrill. I was hooked.
Wow. What about Tonya? You said you were hooked too. You got the bug.
Well, she's hooked.
Hooked
now.
She's hooked. The comedian.
I was a teacher for so long. I felt like I should have been a stripper.
Okay.
That would have been fun.
I don't know.
That could still happen right now.
That's how it kind of started. I didn't strip.
At least not
I
in front of the
smoke pot
kids.
and I don't get it. So.
Maybe it's laced.
No, after 37 years, I ran into my 4th grade friend, and I told her I was a teacher for 19 years. I decided not to teach anymore. That I really wanted to get into stand-up, and she said, well, I've been a stripper for 19 years. And I did a whole stand-up set. I got Jennie to laugh on that one. I did a whole stand-up set comparing me being a teacher to a stripper. Didn't go off real well.
I like it. That sounds great.
Sounds interesting.
A lot of teachers are strippers at night. I'm just saying.
I think maybe it didn't go off because it's a little bit confusing.
You think?
I would like to have
I
heard
didn't
that.
give the set just now.
What-
I just
what
was
did you
saying,
teach when you taught?
Like Jackie Kumquat, that was her stripper name.
Jackie Kumquat, stripper. Now, if she was a drag queen, it would be Jackie Kumtwat.
I like that one way better.
But no, it's a fruit.
That's so nasty.
Kumquat. Yeah,
So
but
we
Jackie
are aware,
Kumquat.
Farmer John.
Tonya, what did you teach when you taught?
I taught sex ed, actually.
You did not. Are you joking? Are you joking?
I did. I
With
taught
the banana?
abstinence. No,
that what
I
kind
taught
of
Abstinence. Who
abstinence.
wants
Oh
that?
my God.
I showed them gnarly STDs, and I still have
Oh, no
virgins to this
STDs.
day. I swear.
Wait, okay, they were high schoolers you were teaching?
Yeah, high school, middle school.
Oh my God, how
Mormon
awkward.
children.
Did you do some comedy while you were teaching them? Like,
Always.
just have to break the ice, you know?
Yeah. I would start a dance session before lessons.
In class?
Yeah.
That's cool. See, I was thinking when you said you taught
I had
sex
nuns.
ed,
That never
it would
happened.
I taught sports. I taught PE, and
Oh, okay.
So I would start a dance lesson. Yeah.
So
And
you
I
were the
taught
lesbian
dance.
gym teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Well, we didn't know you you were not the
I'm
lesbian.
not saving cats, but I was a gym teacher.
But you
so
didn't even know
yeah.
that you were that you weren't out then. So
I knew I was lesbian from the time I was 7. It was
Okay, what
I was
happened at
not
7?
I was not authentic. I did a little playing around with a little 7-year-old other girl.
And it didn't freak
Uh-huh.
me out. I did
How did that
too,
go?
right?
It didn't
So we
freak me
played
out.
Truth or Dare, and it freaked me out. I ran home, and they kept saying, like, I dare you to kiss me. I dare you to kiss me, because apparently
I
I was
still
a good
do that
kisser,
now.
but I was like,
Nice.
oh my God. And I went home, and I was like, no.
Oh, when
no,
I was
no.
like 12, like
Yes.
one of my aunts came out to the family when I was like 12, so this was like
Oh, that's
what?
helpful.
80, like early 80s, I guess, and like she got so slammed by the family, like I was like, oh.
That was right around the encounter with the 16-year-old.
No, I had a 7-year-old. I did not have.
I was a 16-year-old.
She was 7.
I was 7.
Now it's
too.
like we're talking about pedophilia.
No.
I was 7.
She was 7.
And the girl was 16.
And the girl was 7.
The girl was 7.
They're
no,
both
but
7.
you told us earlier that
I
you
wish
had
I would've
That was a
drank some
different
alcohol.
story.
Never mind.
That was, yeah.
Sorry.
I knew I was.
I asked her how she knew she was gay.
I looked back into my life. I started writing a book like 5 years ago about all of this.
What's it called?
Willow.
So how did you know that you were gay at 7?
So it was a kind of like a hidden secret because I've had like these amazing relationships with women and I like struggled with it all my life.
But what was that aha moment for you when you knew that you were gay?
She always knew she
The
was
aha moment was 7.
She knew she was gay. She just never practiced. You got
So I was
some
more
mechanism
authentic
involved,
to
too.
myself. I actually gained so much weight. To like people ask me, "Oh, how are you so skinny?" And you keep it like I'm more authentic to myself because I wasn't back then.
Yeah.
So when did you come out, Jenny?
It was 1999, and my older sister is also gay, and I had been just kind of like thinking about it. I'm like, God, I just kind of let my mind go. I was journaling, and I said, if I live to be 99 and I don't have a relationship with a woman, would I regret that? And immediately I thought, yes, I would. And in allowing myself to think that, then I started, I watched the movies and saw some, read some books. So that was one of them. Like Water for Chocolate.
Desert Hearts.
That one was the first one.
Brokeback Mountain.
But
Oh wait,
I saw my sister. My sister at the time was living in Minneapolis, and I went to see her, and she's like, "So are you seeing anybody?" And I'm like, "Well, actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. I kind of think I might be gay, but I just don't know about the fisting."
Oh, fisting! You don't have to do that.
Goes,
right there.
She goes, "The what?" And I'm like, in every book, whatever book of erotica I picked up must have been about that, because in every story I was reading this book, it would be going along great, and then almost she goes, "Oh my God, I don't know what book you were reading, but don't worry about it."
Holy cow!
And then she goes, "Thank God you said something to me first. I could just see you on your first date." Well, all right.
Oh my gosh.
That would have surprised her.
So that's how I came out. And it was October 9th, so I just celebrated my 20-year career, y'all. And
Oh, but you were in a long-term relationship, which is wonderful.
13, 14 years
That's
now.
awesome.
My current
Congratulations.
partner. Yes, thank you.
Well, let's get back to the Women's Power Tour. Sean Wiggins, who I used to hire.
Hi, Sean. I know Sean.
I know
She's
Sean,
great,
too.
isn't she?
I used to hire Sean when I was the VP of Entertainment for Gay Pride and Long Beach Pride. So she's made the thing. She's made the rounds also in the LGBTQLMN community. Plus, sorry.
RSTUWX.
Yep, them.
the
Them.
pride
It's
community.
sort of like a them. So we have a song. I mean, she's part of this. And the headliner.
She's my star.
Yep, the headliner. So we're going to play a song from her called Don't Wake Me. Ow.
Was all alone, never thought I'd find
That was amazing. Sean, I love you. Your songs are so beautiful and your voice is so crystal clear and it's really soulful. So I thank you for sharing this song with us, and thank you, Tonya, for bringing her on the Women Power Tour. Also, there is another artist performing. I don't know who she is, and I know that's really rude, but I'm honest, so I'm going to say it. Tonya will explain after the song, but I'd like to just go back-to-back songs. It's a woman, right, called Ronnie Lee.
Correct.
And her song is called Cold Hearted.
Cold Hearted Lover.
Lover, sorry.
Don't take no school to teach you to be cruel. With you it just comes easy. With high heel kicks and dirty cheap tricks. Yeah, I think you're just too sleazy. You're hanging around that hot side of town. Vibes must be freezing. I need a lot of love. Need the burning stuff. I need the part that's leaving. I need the part that's leaving. You're a cold-hearted lover. I've seen your kind before. You're a cold-hearted lover, yeah. Don't want you knocking around my back door. No, no, no. Woo, come on. You know, I tried everything a woman could do, and I followed you every place. You should have told me when we were through. You know, I would have laughed in your face. You've been hanging around the hot side of town. Vibes must be freezing. I need a lot of love. Need the burning stuff. I need the part that's leaving. I said, I need the part that's leaving. You're a cold-hearted lover. I've seen your kind before, yeah. You're a cold-hearted lover, yeah. Don't want you knocking around my back door, no, no, no. Cause you're a cold-hearted lover, but I've seen your kind before. You're so cold-hearted lover, yeah. Don't want you knocking on my back door. Cause you're a cold-hearted lover, cold-hearted lover. I've seen your kind before. You're so cold-hearted lover, yeah. Don't want you knocking on my back door. 'Cause you're so cold. It's so cold.
Hey, that was Ronnie Lee. Very cool. It's kind of like punkish, rockish, Joan Jettish, and it's like very funny because today I posted a picture of me and Joan on my Facebook, and I'm wearing a Joan Jett and the Black Hearts T-shirt today. So,
Beautiful.
yo.
Nice choice.
So explain to
Women
me.
who rock.
Women who rock. Tell me, who is Ronnie Lee?
Ronnie Lee's been jamming for a long time in San Diego, bringing many people to the stage. She fucking riffs on a guitar. Oh, sorry.
No, you can say it.
Oh, okay.
This is
She
not real
riffs
radio.
on a guitar. Sorry, like said the F word. She riffs on a guitar like nobody's business. Like, and she's jammed with like Joe Satriani and Stephen Vai and like just. Yeah, so she shared the stage with a lot of people. She's gone solo, had several bands. I've booked her with her all-girls band, Ronnie Lee and the Sirens of Rock.
And then you mostly do stuff in San Diego, right?
Yes, I'm creating buzz in San Diego, and we're taking off to Thailand.
Wow, San Diego and Thailand.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect marriage. I can see that right now. But the thing is, you know, when I started off the show, producer, performer, writer, slam poetry artist. I'm going to let you give one of our your slam poetry things.
Well,
How did
your podcast show inspired me to write this, but like I have been
The empathy show.
inspired. Yes, I've been inspired to write something about energy and people's energy in general, and like I wrote this based that morning after your podcast. I think it was like Saturday morning because it was Friday night podcast. But I listened to it all. I love all of you guys. It's so
Thank
awesome.
you.
Like, actually meet you, like, and Gaye Ann too. Like, but,
and Gaye Ann. Fine. All right.
But yeah, so I contacted you, but I also wrote this before, and then I'm like, I wrote a slam, and then I even sent it to Sean, hopefully that she would write a song about
Sean,
it.
do you hear that? That's a subtle hint. Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe Ronnie can do one if Sean
Yeah.
won't.
And that's what Sean said. Like, like maybe one of your other rock stars can do it. Like, but okay, so you want me to read it?
I do.
Yeah.
Slam it.
But
baby.
I want you to
Slam
perform it. Whatever
Yes.
this slam thing is. Do it.
Okay, hopefully I won't screw it up. It's all about her energy. She has the best energy that creates explosive synergy because she's an empath. An empath. That's right, an empath. It's all about her energy. She has this exciting energy that creates astronomical synergy because she's an empath. An empath. She takes on everyone's wrath, eventually just needing a bath because she's an empath. An empath. It's all about her energy. Sometimes it can lead to great tragedy because she's an empath. Respect her energy for the synergy. You can feel her in a room. You can feel her in a stare. You can feel her in a voice. And her touch is felt everywhere. It's all about her energy that creates this explosive synergy because she's an empath. Don't mess with this energy. She must protect this energy. She must guard this energy, or she will take a lick and wind up sick. It's all about her energy. She draws you in with this energy, this electricity, this authenticity, this antiquity, this audacity, this intricity, this flavor. You will be addicted. You won't be able to get enough. For the empath, this could be rough. It's all about her energy.
Very good. That's awesome.
Love it.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Definitely.
Beatniks.
Beatnik.
Well, that's not. Well, hold on, I'm trying to think.
It's performance poetry. It's one of the things I've done. I've gone up and done the blowjob poem. I have a poem about a blowjob. But like,
Is it very long?
The straight woman in the house would like to hear the blowjob one.
Apparently
talking
she
about the poem?
does.
She wants the blowjob.
yeah, but like you go up and you read it so fast, you don't even know it's about a blowjob unless you're really listening.
Well, the title kind of gives it away.
Yeah, because we're that intellectual. Everyone call us, 323-524-2599. You can attempt to ask a question to Tonya. But Jennie is alert as a...
Yeah, I'm baked.
You're not half baked, honey. You're full baked.
full baked. So, going back to relationships, Jennie,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
you've had one for a while.
have.
I think all of us are single at this table, except for you and Tony.
Forever
and so, I mean, what do you think? You've been around for a while. in this relationship, what do you think the key is?
I'm gone a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I noticed
awesome.
that's some of the best relationships. One of my friends,
it's
she's so
true.
happy with her husband, but she travels a lot.
Right.
And I'm thinking maybe that's the key to a relationship. Because
Well,
I'm single and I'm proud of it.
It really keeps it new, I think, because, I was in a relationship where my ex was gone all the time as well. But it really, like, you come back together and you have something to talk about. You're not, like, always on top of each other's crap all the time.
The weird thing is I used to go to Provincetown for the entire summer. And that would be weird because for 2 months I'd be gone.
Oh,
and
wow.
So... she would come on and visit, but still, for 2 months, we both got into our own single grooves again. And then it was like, I came back home, and it was like she had to let me in, and I had to fit in. It was just, it was a weird adjustment time. But
it kind of makes it exciting all over again, though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's cool.
Well, it does. I mean, I'm sort of like that person that when I'm with a partner, I kind of want to eat, live, breathe them. It's called codependency.
no, thank you.
When I was younger,
sounds
when I was younger, eating them, right. When I was younger. But as I get older, because I was in an 18-year relationship, and that was a while, and then, but I think you're right, because I used to travel a lot with my day job. She did not. And so it was like I went and had my freedom for a while. I mean, not that I cheated or anything, but I mean, you go and you do your thing, and then it is that reconnection, and then suddenly we stopped doing movies of the week, which meant I was more in town, and then you just kind of you find your groove, but then you start to pick on each other. It starts to get to be like, yeah, how come I didn't notice that? Oh, I wasn't here, and it's like, and then it's not like we fell out of love. We loved each other, but when we actually were doing that day to day coming home like normal people do, it's like, this is, I'm not liking this. And it's not her.
Right.
I didn't like it. So I would then I created like, I have to be that VP of Entertainment Gay Pride. I have to manage Berlin. I started then becoming so overwhelmed with projects that ultimately is really how it separated, because I was I overextended myself and I left nothing for her. Yeah. And that was kind of sad, but we're still really good friends. I'm friends with all my exes except the first one, but that's a long story. But when you are a codependent, you have to unlearn those skills. So even now, when I'm dating or I start to date, I fall back into the patterns of we have to talk every day.
See, codependence is so interesting to me. That's so polar opposite of what I am. I always am interested in, like, why, how, I don't get it. Like, for me, I want that separation and I want that, but there's also that trust there that that you trust the other person implicitly. So you have no, like, worry when they're out, but I just don't, I talk a little
bit more about,
But when you
find the right person, like when I find the right person, or we find each other, because it's not like I'm on a mission. It's like you're mine. It has to be together.
Nice.
Everything about them inspires me. I'm in Hollywood, so of course it's always the looks first. Sorry, shallow. But it's the looks first and the body. But then it's like it's those heart-to-heart conversations. To start to break down the barriers and break down the walls and the vulnerabilities, and then to the first time you sleep together. I mean, it depends. The first time you sleep together, it could just be like, fire rockets. Let's just fucking get it over with because, let's just get this over with. But then even if it is that one time, bam, then each time after you begin to explore each other, and it becomes less about this, for me, less about, did I make her come? Did she make me come? Was it 5 times? Did she squirt? It's less about that. For me, it then becomes more about
Aunt Becky.
We get it done. You do it, and you do it slowly. You do it gently. You start to explore. You start to find out what they like. But what I love most importantly after sex is then just lying in bed holding each other and talking.
Oh, I'm like, go away. I just want my bed.
Seriously?
Yeah, if you're a booty call, leave. I gotta go.
See, I'm with you on that.
But
one,
that's a
Gaye Ann.
booty call. I'm talking about in a relationship.
Right.
I'm not codependent with a booty call, but I don't do booty calls, as you guys are fully aware.
You will one day.
One day I will.
Maybe that's
but I don't
your
So why is it that there's more single people in this room than not?
Because
we
rocks.
enjoy our alone time?
Yes,
I need it. I'm so used to it.
I like alone time.
Okay, I'm going to answer that for you.
I cherish it.
I love being single because I live such a peaceful life.
Yeah.
And I just really focus on law of attraction and happiness. So if I go to meet someone to date them, I don't want them... That's perfect. I want it to be just like Bob Marley. And
how shocking is it that her ringtone is Bob Marley?
I mean, that was the guy calling is Bob. Calling is Bob.
But like that's how happy I want it to be. Like I just want to just be happy and feel good and have a good time. And until I find that person, forget it.
By the way, my phone was turned off until you had me read my poem.
So it's my fault.
Yeah. So you want to don't worry.
But Gaye, what you were saying,
about
I don't see
a
that
thing.
as codependency.
Exactly.
I see it as a loving relationship. What I see as codependency is you had said, I want to spend every minute with that person.
Well, and that's obsessive. But I mean, it's like if I'm working, I want to come home and be with them.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to be with them. If we go out as couples. Although I have to be honest, I mean, that was starting to stifle me too. Because it was kind of like, we have to always go out together.
But then there's the other side of it where you're never with your partner.
What part about having the girlfriend did you like?
I was all right. My mother said to me, I've only been with 7. I mean, I've literally slept with 7 women, and that's not bad. That's nothing for 55. Because. No.
It's pathetic.
I know it is pathetic. I'm gonna make up for lost time.
You need more, honey.
I'll make up for lost time. I'll make up for lost time.
Except booty calls, okay?
I have less than that. That makes me feel bad.
Make sure you get an STD list.
Oh no,
STD, laminated STD card.
Yes.
Do not sleep with anyone without it.
I think it's not the quantity of people that you sleep with; it's the quality.
But the thing is, I mean,
both.
But I met these people, and it wasn't like lesbian U-Haul. I mean, we got to know each other. I mean, I didn't sleep. Obviously, you know me. I didn't sleep with them right away, so I wanted to make sure that they just didn't want to fucking leave. And then we started talking. You have the one-on-one times you hang out. And then it's like, okay, do you want to kind of date and be exclusive? That word exclusive. And then they said yes, and then we did, and then months and months and months went, and then we moved in together. But but then God, I guess I get bored sometimes. I guess
it does get boring, and you do need.
But that's why it's not the right person, because maybe I'm a little stupid fantasy thing. I think the right person you never get bored of.
I agree.
Seriously, like if you're with someone for 20 years, you never get bored with them at any
it's
moment.
It's not that you don't have momentary boredom, but it's not that you're not constantly bored with a relationship. Every once in a while, they're gonna bug the crap out of you, and you're gonna bug. Well, I suppose.
Well, not
I
you. I mean,
bother her a little. I don't know
Jennie.
how, but perhaps I have a habit or two that annoys her. But you just for us, we are both freaks about sports. Like Sunday mornings, we've got 2 TVs.
That's cool.
And then both games. She's got her New York Giants on one. I got my Detroit Lions on the other. Whoever is the better record gets the bigger television.
Okay.
It's that's so for us. We find those things that for sports and things for us.
Because it really is, it's like, the commonalities will keep you together.
And you just got to not, everybody's got stuff, right? You just got to find whose stuff you can deal with, because nobody, is going to be perfect.
I was just having this conversation on the way over here, actually, with someone, and it's really about okay, I have differences and you have differences, and I don't, it was like Long Beach is the other person's scene, LA's my scene. So how do we make that work?
That doesn't. That just doesn't. That is too freaking far. I'm sorry. I'm teasing. I'm just teasing.
And it's that's why they invented Friends. You go hang out with your friends in Long Beach, so I'm hanging out with mine in LA, and then we could find a way to make it work.
There you go.
You're back with that woman?
What? No.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
I just find it hard to believe that I will ever find that someone, because it's just never happened, and I'm going to be 45.
Just because it hasn't happened
Excuse
doesn't
me,
mean
I'm
it won't.
55. I'm starting out again.
I have hope. Yeah. I have hope. No matter what, I have hope.
But you know what? These aren't only gay women problems.
No,
these are straight women problems, right,
Cara?
Cara?
People problems.
One doesn't want to settle for less. One doesn't want to jump in. That's what codependency is about. Jumping in when you get that first glow, and then choosing that person, wanting them to be yours, and then giving them more and more, because it's good to give, it's fun to give, and then you find you're giving too much of
yeah.
yourself, and you lose yourself.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I like to be single all the time, why I'm pretty much always single, because I see people get really caught up in their significant other, and their identity sort of seems to merge into them, and they become one, and I just don't like that.
That's so yucky, though. I think you shouldn't ever become
well,
one.
I
You
just
should
mean
always
it's like
be your own
it's
person,
like they
you
see.
know?
But a
can't
lot of
really
people don't know
judge
how,
people.
though.
I know that's
and
a
then they
problem.
let one
If
person
they
likes
like it and it
dominating
works,
the other one.
I mean, we're going to sit here and go, "Oh, that sucks."
I'm just saying
it's
from
very
my
healthy
point
to
of
become
view.
one with your partner.
It's
I
not.
think, like,
but maybe you
need
have
your
two
own identity.
but you know what? But maybe you have two unhealthy, damaged people.
Oh, for
And
sure.
then together, maybe they have one whole
Damaged
They make
person.
one really
undamaged
big
person.
damaged person.
Severely damaged person.
You complete me into a damaged individual.
I'm toxic beyond all measure with you.
But the thing is, I
100%
think
damage.
one of the biggest isures in relationships is trust.
Right.
I mean, I
Yes,
think trust
for sure.
Huge.
And you only get to trust someone if you get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, for me, I love going out. When I'm with my partner, I'm very social. I love to go out. I'll go wherever. I'm usually the social butterfly. They're usually like standing there talking to a few people. And I've worked the room, got business cards, and done all that. But it's the time that you need to spend together. One-on-one is really important. It's not like you're isolating each other. It's not like, I don't want to go out and hang out with anybody. It's I want to get to know
Yes,
you.
Of course.
exactly.
Don't tell me you don't know me. Well, if we aren't spending quality time together and all we are is at parties or functions, how do you get to know someone?
Right.
And just because you're dating someone doesn't mean every time you see them you have to jump in bed and fuck them.
You go to their
But
Facebook
that really
page.
helps.
But I think too, you can't
was
assume
the F
you
word,
know
by the way.
someone. Like if for the 2 years you see somebody, nothing happens, nothing significant happens, no big tragedy happens. Not that you have to have a tragedy to know somebody,
Right.
but you kind of got to see them through other things and
See their vulnerability.
take a step
See
back.
their vulnerability.
Yeah, and with
through
all
other-
of us, and again, gay and straight, I mean, everybody comes into their next relationship with baggage
Yeah.
from the past that they need to try and heal.
Right.
And and it's not. So I mean, I do. I mean, when you leave a relationship, I don't want to be in that type of relationship again. So I look at what the good qualities of what that relationship was. Those are things that I bring to the table, and hopefully we'll find someone else that we will complement each other. But if someone that I'm interested in is, now you guys are going to slam the shit out of me right now, that if they're not in the same place that I am, I will try and help them through that if I love them.
Right.
And I know that's not like everyone, that's not healthy.
Do you mean spiritually?
Spiritually, because we're all at different levels spiritually,
Right, yeah.
I mean, I've been on the quest for spirituality since I was 21. I was raised Catholic. Not proud of that one. But I was raised Catholic. But, you find your own way, I came here alone, when I was 20. I didn't know anyone. The people who I went to law school with, I couldn't stand. So I really stayed on my own and started going to like the Psychic Eye and going, there was no online then, but going, just finding out where groups were about spirituality and learning and reading, just to keep focused and balanced, probably because I was scared shitless. I was scared shitless and I needed some grounding and balance. And I also, because I have an ego a little bit, I didn't want to admit failure.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go back to New Jersey. Who the fuck wants to go back to New Jersey? Hi, New Jersey. But it was not for me. I never felt comfortable there. I always wanted to move to California. So, yes, I think, you find people that are spiritually in tuned. I also believe, because I believe in spirituality, you find people come into your lives for a reason. They really do. And some people know what that reason is, those more spiritually attuned, and then the ones that want to be spiritually attuned don't necessarily know what it is. So you've got, two people that obviously have a connection, whether it's friendship or relationship, but there's just something not connecting. And it's not that it will never connect. At that point, you have to sit there and go, okay, step back. I want this person in my life. This is right person, wrong time.
I love that quote that says, are you still confusing your soulmate for a life lesson?" Or for a lesson, which sometimes goes back to what you said. We meet people for a reason, and sometimes speaking from my own experience, I thought this one person was my soul, love of my life, soulmate, and it was really a life lesson.
But there are more. We have more than one soulmate.
Right.
I mean, my psychic, and I go to a few.
They know about each other.
They do. They're all friends.
They predicted it.
It's like they all have different.
You're gonna get another.
Yeah,
psychic.
exactly. They all have different styles. So it's like when I'm dealing with stuff, I'll call one, and but I have 4 soulmates. I have met all 4 of them. They have been the biggest loves of my life, and I'm not with any of them.
Do you mean soulmate romantically of any of these, or just only because you can have soulmates that aren't romantic? So okay, so all 4. Had 4 romantic soulmates,
and that's people who are meant to be in your life. Sometimes they just turn up. They keep turning up. They're just meant to be there.
5 is my lucky number. So
you think you got 5?
There's a 5th one.
I haven't even really met one.
I don't want to meet my soulmate. I want to meet my twin flame.
Yeah. Oh no,
you don't. It's all about, for me, the physical connection, the mental connection, the emotional connection, but it's that spiritual connection that just locks the two people in.
But do you realize that the worst relationships are meeting your twin flame?
Why? Why is that?
Because that's a piece of you.
Right. Is that for some reason you can never be with them? Is throughout history you keep repeating them?
Is this a lesbian thing? Because I've never heard of it.
Twin flame. Tell us what a twin flame is.
A twin flame is you share the same soul. So it's like there's one soul and you separate branched off, and you continually find, and there's always with the twin flame, a stable one and a runner. And that's the way the whole relationship will be. You'll have the stable one, and then the runner will get really close, and then when it freaks out because they notice something in you,
that
because
was me and my ex.
They run. They run because you are sharing the same thing, and usually one of them is more dominant. The more solid one is the dominant. The other one isn't. But it's only when the runner can really understand and face what their lesson is, the strength that they can get from you, will you truly
meet up again,
be joined, and actually have a good relationship.
That's 2 fire signs.
Yeah.
Well, fire signs are amazing.
I'm the runner.
I know. That's really interesting.
But Tonya, you run real slow.
Yes. I
my tattoo, smile, breathe, go slowly.
But it's that deep, deep, deep connection that's going to keep me with somebody. It just is.
Well, that should be, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what hurts some people is they go into something looking for that. It's like you meet a person and go, okay, do you have any of these boxes I can check that will make you be my friend, my soulmate, my partner, whatever? Yeah. And I think as opposed to just meeting a person, if you meet a person when you're with someone, you say there's no sexual tension, then you get to know that person.
Correct.
Right? Whereas sometimes when people are single, it's just a weird thing I think people tend to look for.
But that's why a lot of friends of mine, the partners that they actually stuck with and are long term, they started out as friends.
Right. Yeah, but was there no spark there from the beginning?
I know there.
But you can't. You're in a friend zone.
I know, but I mean, I don't know about those relationships.
I don't know. I'm single. I don't think I'm ever in the friend zone.
When you're a friend zone, it's really
Jennie,
hard to
you're
get out.
Hot.
No, sorry. I want to be
because it'll make a turn. I mean, when you're in a friend zone, and then there's just something. You can just tell. It does. You're not sitting here trying to make the difference. Going, okay, now I want her. But it just is something that suddenly just switches, and it's really subtle.
It's in movies.
It's my life.
Be true.
I'm in Hollywood.
I see them in movies.
It's in movies.
Something else interesting that you said, Gaye Ann, that I want to bring up is, a lot of my exes are like this too, but you said just the opposite in that, once you've been with somebody, you're kind of done with that relationship. You learn the lesson and you move on, right? That's how I am too. But I think almost all of my exes are the type that will repeat if you give them the opportunity to, like for example, my ex, she back and forth.
That was 2 exes, by the way. Just in case.
2 exes back.
Just in case the last one is listening, it's the one before.
And they go back with the same person, and I'm like, I just don't get that
can't
at
do
all.
Because they haven't finished their lesson. They still need to learn what they're learning.
But why learn it with the same person that you already had lessons with. I don't get it.
Like, you can learn it with a new person because you're going to keep repeating it until you learn it.
Why do they keep going back to the same failed relationship?
I just don't. I'll never.
Okay,
this is my theory. I'm going to speak for lesbians, but I'm sure
well,
it
no,
happens
why don't you
with
just
everybody.
speak for yourself?
Thank you.
No, it's very common that they try to get a square peg to fit into a round hole, and it's like everyone around them can see it's not working out. Walk away and just start healing, but those two people just keep trying and trying and trying. And
not enough fisting.
It's like they're beating their head on the wall, and it's like, leave, get peace and happiness.
I think if you can move beyond that, like I'm friends with all my
Me
exes,
too.
best friends with most of them. I mean, they're the ones I call when tragedy happens.
So
but it's like it just seems strange to me, like to go. Move from this relationship that is so much stronger than when we were in a partnership together because it didn't work. So now we're in this friendship that is like so much more beautiful and so much more amazing, and we can be so much more honest with each other, and it just fits better.
I just like now because when my ex, when we used to be together, we would like, she was Cuban and I was Italian. It was like, oh shit,
dancing there.
And then we were done. Thank you. And then we were done. It's like, get it out. We're done. And now, but then when you're in the relationship and you're doing it's this passion, it's this, oh my God. And now when she's on the phone with me and she's yelling at me, I'm like, bye.
Right?
The greatest feeling ever.
Now, as a straight girl, are you friends with all of your exes?
Most of them.
Really? Okay. All right.
Most recently, I will not be friends with my last ex.
Okay. Well, we won't like him either
Sadly,
then.
but there it is.
I think that's a woman thing. Like women
I
can
love
be
to be friends with all my
the
exes.
exes.
It's just that this.
But how could you not be friends unless they beat you or they're fucking assholes or cheated on you?
Yeah, all those things.
Yeah. How could you? I know. How could you not?
Yeah, I've
be
never
friends
had
with
any
them?
women like that.
Yeah.
So.
But that's what I mean. I haven't either. So, you develop this bond with this person. You go through a lot in life. Why do you have to, unless they did something just so horrific to you, you should be able to be friends with them. Are you friends with your exes?
I am, yeah.
I have a bunch of women that I told that I wanted to have sex with them.
Mm-hmm. And how'd that go?
For many years. They were very flattered. I heard that word, flattered.
But no score, huh?
No score?
Oh, Tonya.
Some of them were
of
married
exes.
by the time that I told them.
To a man or a woman?
Man.
That never
I know,
worked. That
I've
shit
fallen
never
for all the
works.
wrong ones.
So have you had a girlfriend?
I have Thai women.
Oh.
My first
That's
woman
why you're
actually.
going to Thailand.
Yeah, exactly.
I lived in Thailand.
I know.
No, I lived in
connection
Thailand
came
for
in.
6 years as a teacher,
PE teacher there?
and I came out of the closet there. Yes, of
Sex
course.
ed teacher
Came
there.
out of the closet in Thailand.
in
That's
Thailand.
interesting.
Yeah.
Did they do a parade?
So the one of the American guys I knew out there that owned
Do they fist there?
owned a bar. No, you don't have to fist. You have this hand.
No.
But no, like he actually, I came out of the closet, never had sex with a woman. He offered to buy me a prostitute.
Well, that was kind.
That is very
That
common
is-
over
wait,
there.
wait,
It's
wait.
common over there.
STD
A
card.
prostitute?
I doubt it.
Yeah, really.
I
So,
wouldn't do it.
I spent most of the night actually she was like a 22-year-old girl. I'd never even had sex with a woman. Like,
Did she teach you anything?
no, but we talked about her little baby that she had all night.
That's a buzzkill.
And,
Yeah.
Hey, so you didn't do anything
You
with
did,
her?
I bet you
I
didn't.
just touched her body a little
wouldn't
bit.
work.
Oh,
Like,
no, that's cute.
I was like,
Did
my
you get a
brother
refund?
bought
Then
me,
I
bought
had
me
a Thai girlfriend after that, and then a
there you
Filipino
go.
girlfriend, and then I moved back to California and had a few California chicks.
And how'd that go?
I still talk to them.
That's good. That's a good thing. Yay. Okay.
I just see, my problem. You want to know what my problem is?
What's your problem?
What?
I can't find anyone on my level.
I think it's that
I
very
shit
attitude.
you not. No, I can't
What do
find
you mean
anyone.
by
It's
your
like
level?
the uptake, the the wit.
That is why people think you and I are together.
Maybe you should be.
I can't. Like,
She's too young.
I
Doesn't
guess-
fit
if you
my
want to
frame.
get baked after,
There you go. It'll bring your level down.
no, I like being
Level down. Women now available to you.
down.
Now that you're way down here, there's so many more women.
Oh my
No,
God.
it's weird. It's
That
like
was hilarious.
it's lonely. It's lonely out there.
It's lonely at the top, isn't it?
It is lonely.
It's hard when you're so wonderful
Well,
and
when
perfect.
I sit on my balcony and I look out and see my underlings, I go, I'm so fucking lonely. Where's Mr. Hitachi?
But here's the best thing about being lonely. Lonely is just a feeling. That's all it is. Feelings change directions, just like the wind
Preach it,
changes
sister.
directions. And you may feel lonely a little bit for maybe an hour or maybe a night, but the next day everything's fine. It's gone.
Well, yeah, I
it's
mean,
okay.
moods you can, but the worst is feeling lonely in a crowd. Like
You know what my favorite part is? This is my favorite thing about a woman, because obviously, and you probably have the same thing, and well, most of us are funny. I mean, I'm just crazy funny. There's nothing more that actually gets me excited about a woman is when she gets my humor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm a little twisted.
I know.
Oh,
So
totally.
when I'm on the phone with them and they're laughing at everything, and not only laughing because they're laughing, they get it.
Yes.
That to me is
That is a turn on.
Yeah.
that is an absolute
And
turn
very
on.
rare.
And
Yeah,
very
very
rare.
rare.
Very
And
hard to
very
find.
rare.
Very rare.
You know, and then like usually some of my best friends have really got my humor, but there's a lot of toxicity that goes along with sharp wit.
Yeah, and what is
It's true. It's cruel. But it's usually worth it.
Yeah, that's true. It's usually worth it. But no, I mean, I feel lonely a lot when I go to the lesbo events and stuff.
But you're
you know?
with me. You can't be lonely
I
with me.
feel like
But we had fun Sunday.
no, I know
We were the
do, but
loudest table.
I'm coming to one
I
of these
just don't.
events.
These are
Okay.
not like I don't
It's
feel.
fun.
I don't feel at home with the party lesbo crowd. Love you guys,
Me
but I don't
either.
really feel
I
What
do.
do you mean the party
And
lesbo
You're
crowd?
with
like
me.
the events, same people you see all the way.
Yeah.
There's this one chick that was at the Halloween party when I went as Maleficent.
Which I heard was
Was that the
fabulous.
girlfriends or the which party was that one?
Which party?
Oh, that was the one we went to right after the girlfriend's party.
Okay.
Oh, that was
Okay,
amazing.
So that was
party.
interesting. So weird. Okay, so I got to tell that story. Okay, so Tristan and I were talking. She's talking to some girl on her left, and I started talking to a couple. One of them was a very cute butch. Well, I like the butch lesbians, and I mean, she goes by he. But anyway. So
It's a lot to learn.
So
Yeah,
I'm
you know
talking
I'm out.
to them. I'm talking to them both, and the other one, oh, Will, are you showing me as Maleficent? Whoa,
Yes.
check it out.
Amazing.
Hot, baby, hot.
Hotter than
Thank you,
Angelina.
No,
That's awesome.
thank you. So, okay, here's the thing. So I'm talking to them, and they're telling me how they're a couple, but they're an open relationship. The girl was very pretty.
Do
but
we
I
have
don't-
her picture up there?
No, I don't like her. I
We don't
wasn't-
want to show that.
No, I didn't take
I
pictures
was
of that.
not attracted to the femme girl. I was only attracted to the butch one.
She was androgynous.
Whatever.
Whatever.
She thought she was
She's
very
hot.
funny. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, they're sitting in, like one on this side, and they're just intensely leaning forward like this, and I'm like getting super uncomfortable. I've never,
I'm like, this is amazing.
I've never had a threesome in my life.
Me
So,
either.
never.
They're amazing.
So they're like this, and they're just kind of like this, and I'm like, I'm sort of getting a threesome vibe from you guys. And
You
they're
said
like,
that.
Oh, did you say
She
that?
did.
Wow.
and they're like, no, why would you think that? And then they're like leaning in closer. And I'm like, oh, God. So I said, listen, I don't do that, but I would kiss. I'm thinking to myself, I'd kiss you, the butch one, but then that means I'd have to kiss you, too. But I don't want to hurt her feelings.
You think too
I
much.
didn't want to hurt her feelings, but I also didn't want to kiss her.
But everyone
So-
kissed. It was great.
So
So you did kiss both of them?
yes, because, I mean, honestly, I didn't want to.
Which one did you enjoy more?
I love that you're fair.
The butch one, but like I got way more into the butch one, and I felt like, oh God, that means I have.
That's why threesomes suck.
No, they are amazing.
Have you done
I
any?
can't imagine doing a threesome.
I have not either.
Never.
That's
You're
just
all
so kinky.
missing out. Just
I would like
saying.
to.
One's enough.
I tried
Sit-
once, and
kinky
I like
people.
to
in the
stop
past,
in
I
the middle.
would have
was
liked
like,
to
yeah,
have done
too
it, but
much.
now I don't feel
Oh,
like doing
no.
it.
I'm too old. I can't deal with
No,
it.
I
No,
just-
you're not.
That's just above and beyond what I could.
And
handle.
that was such a loving night. Everyone was kissing each other.
And all of a sudden, I'm hungry for tacos. I don't know.
Shocking.
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, when I go out to these lesbian events, like I just don't. I just stare off in oblivion because I
Come to San Diego, lesbian events in San Diego.
I should because that'll be different.
Every third Saturday.
Long Beach was different.
Oh,
when we
God.
went to the
They're
Long
all
Beach
the fucking
party.
same thing.
No. The Long Beach women, They were different.
They're different.
I used to go out in
LA.
Long Beach.
I guarantee you
It's-
it'll be
it's
different
the
if you
party
come to
crowd.
Ventura
It's the-
versus
I
LA.
guarantee I would enjoy
Everything's
the
different.
LA.
Well, who gives a shit? On
lesbian
November
scene.
14th,
You
we're
would
going to
enjoy
take
San
on
Diego.
Ventura by storm.
Yeah.
We will go see Jennie, and then
will.
we'll go to Patty's on Main Street.
Patty's. What's
Okay?
Patty's?
Patty's is
Patty's
the only
is-
gay bar, I think, in Ventura.
It's the only gay
It
bar in
used to-
Ventura
do
County.
you know Martha Davis from the Motels, and her husband used to own it when they lived there?
Patty's? I did not know
They
that.
did own that. It was a
did not
rehearsal
know that
studio
either.
in the back.
They also do drag queen bingo there, which
They
is
do.
very fun.
That
What
is-
happens
oh,
on
that sounds
Thursday
good.
nights there?
We're gonna take
We're
going
gonna
to
find out, won't we?
Okay. Let's do this.
We're going to find out. So I just want to say thank you, everyone. We're coming to an end.
No way.
Yeah. It's an hour and a half.
It's
Way.
been
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
fun.
To the Between the Sheets podcast. Let me go through this again. Website, betweenthe.sheetpodcast.com. YouTube, Between the Sheets. Facebook, Between the Sheets. Instagram, QTE Brett. That's me. We have, let's see. I also want to get a shout out to my Botox doctor, Dr. Rahimi in Westlake Village. I love you, and I'll see you in December.
You are adorable. Stop that. Discount?
Discount, maybe. Tomorrow, Windsor presents benefiting Girl on the Run. Look online. Windsor
Plaza
presents. I just write notes for myself and I can't even fucking read it. That's tomorrow, Girls on the Run. More to say, Tammy Hall, and of course our very own Jennie McNulty will be there. Sunday, the Barn Ball in Santa Monica. Go look at it online. Tickets still available. I'll be there. Tonya, Women Power Tour. The Queen Bees in North Park, San Diego on January 18th.
Correct.
2020. The Women Power Tour in San Marcos, Walnut Grove Park on February 1st.
Yes.
Yeah, big show, big show.
Okay, cool. Do you guys have any other shows that you want to promote while you're here? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me just tell you again. It's November 14th.
November 14th is the second Thursday of every month, and this month is Suzanne Westenhofer's the special event. So get there early. It's at 7 o'clock.
There's adequate parking, if I recall.
There is plenty of parking, but it happens at 7, so it's early for some people.
Well, no, we can go down there. I know where we can go. I know where we can go. You can meet up with us if you want. There's my favorite restaurant. One of my favorite restaurants in Ventura is Paradise Pantry Paradise.
Oh, that place is great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that place
and
is
it's all
great.
organic and stuff.
Oh,
we should
yeah,
all
I'll go
meet
there.
Except I don't think they're open for dinner. They're
Okay, then we
only
can
open,
go to
like,
Lure
lunch,
because
yeah.
Lure's pretty
Lure's
good
awesome.
too.
Yeah,
Lure's awesome. So we can go down and eat something.
Yeah.
Is this lesbian food?
No.
Yes, it is. It's fresh.
You're
like
welcome.
it.
It's
Cara,
fresh
you're
fish,
welcome to
actually.
It's
so
cucumbers.
Yes, it's lesbian food.
You're welcome to
Cucumbers,
join us,
lesbian
Cara.
Hey, I like me.
You're welcome
no
to join us.
bananas, no zucchini, no squash, nothing shaped any
Just
way.
fresh
from-
fish.
Just fish. Oysters.
Do you want to talk about our special thing that we're doing for holiday?
Your special thing.
Our special
Talk about
thing?
your
I want to
special
hear a
thing.
special thing.
It's not happening, but the thing that we were talking about at the restaurant that we were talking about,
Not happening anymore.
it's not happening.
It's on hold.
But what's important that's happening is my
I haven't been on
56th
Facebook.
birthday party. Oh, well, I don't have a date yet.
You don't know your birthday?
No, my birthday.
My birthday's December 27th, but I'm trying to. A friend of mine have offered, although we were
Mine's
kind of.
November 27th.
I know
Nice.
that.
Oh,
wow. We were at a Halloween party, and my friends kind of offered their house. I'm going to follow up with that. I did the
right.
next day just to make sure that we weren't
If
drunk.
you
so
need
we have to figure it out.
entertainment, let me know.
Thank you. I need a DJ. I need a band.
I got it all. I got it
Taco
all.
truck. We're gonna have a taco truck. I'm gonna get a taco.
Gaye
truck.
Ann, before you delete me, I want to thank you for having both Jennie and I on. Thank you.
I'm not deleting you.
Well, I know we're getting ready to end.
Yeah, but you know, I got 6 minutes. We can talk more shit. But it's my birthday party. I'll let everybody know on Facebook. The house is big enough, so a lot of people are going to be invited. And what else was I going to say?
Lesbians will be there.
Yeah.
I think all lesbians.
Undoubtedly, my dear.
And then we'll have some goddesses, Cara and more goddesses. Tony, obviously, maybe he'll be the token gay man and his boyfriend. But I mean, there are like Shane.
I love
I'm
gay
going to
men.
invite Shane.
He's our
Shane.
lesbro,
He's our
Shane.
lesbro.
I
He'll
love
be
Shane.
invited.
Oh my God, I love
Shout out
Shane.
to
Hi,
Shane. Hi,
He's so
Shane.
cute.
Hi, Shane. Shane, I will call you and I'll take you to the taping of. Well, we'll go hang out at Broke to see Pauly. But 11:15, the next show. My friend Valerie Milano will be joining
Hi,
us
Val.
from Hollywood Life. And what's her name? Kim Sanchez will be back.
Yay.
Kim started a new cart thing doing food. This is awesome for her, right? Right?
Yes, heck yeah.
She's also an amazing chef and stuff. So if you need some
I
hookups,
want some tacos. Can you bring
she's
some
not
tacos?
here. She's not here making tacos. But on that show. We have
Fish tacos.
of course you do. With you know what? Instead of like the green shit, you'll just put
You just put some
marijuana
pot
on it.
on the
Yeah.
top. Yeah, exactly.
We on the 15th we will have a guest author, New York Times best-selling author Joanne Cacciatore. She's not going to be in studio because she's on the East Coast. She'll be calling in live via Zoom. She has a wonderful book called Bearing the Unbearable. It's about grief. And I think that's a subject that we all kind of shy away from. But, going into the holidays, a lot of people have a really hard time dealing with grief and loss. And it's not necessarily physical loss or grief. It's, breakups. It's lost loves. And I think going into the holiday season, maybe she can give us some information and some guidance of how, when people get blue, and it's really deep, how to get through that. So I'm looking forward to that. On December the first Saturday in December, Celeste Barbieri is going to be on the show performing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She'll be one of my performers at Queen Bees.
That's correct. So Celeste
is
Celeste is a friend of mine. I hooked her up with a producer, a producer and mixer, and she did an EP, and that day when she performs will be the first time anyone hears any songs
I can't wait.
from her
so
EP.
I don't know. She told me not to be announcing that stuff, but okay.
I can. I can. She can give me shit. I don't care. I hooked her up with the people. It's kind of that law school, but for that would not. So I guess I have a free pass.
She's an awesome singer. She performed at my birthday party last year. Yeah.
And then I don't remember who I have the second thing in December, but my brain is like, for all of you, my mother is doing fine, thank you, and my cat is doing fine.
Yay.
So I appreciate that. But I just want to say thank you, Jenny.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Jenny.
I look forward to
Pleasure
seeing you
to
tomorrow.
meet you.
Anytime
Me
you're
too.
in town,
Yeah.
until your podcast springs boards.
Okay.
You're always welcome to come join us.
I would love to.
One of the
Yeah.
Between the
Those are
Sheets
fun.
ladies.
I would love to.
But I'm
be
afraid your
this
voice
fun.
is too sexy.
Well,
Oh, God, yeah.
It's going to be a little better than this.
So you're always welcome to come on.
Well,
I mean,
thank you.
we do it the first and third. You can always
Right.
text me or whatever and say, hey, I want to come on. We'll make a room at the table
All
for
right.
you.
Sounds good.
You're welcome. And I will see you tomorrow. And then Tonya.
My voice is sexy too.
It is, Tonya.
Tonya
Very.
needs to get laid.
Bob Marley.
But I want to thank you. Thank you for doing what you're doing and putting together what you're doing. I think, with, your comedy show, your concerts,
Empowerment.
this show, and I never tout our own show, but with our show, anybody, any group that sort of comes together, and it's not about being separatist, but it's about if we all can sort of come together and support each other, and each of us do that no matter what we do, then we can be more homogenous, because it's not about the skin color. It's about the message. And the message is unity. The message is empowerment. Mm-hmm. And we really need to support each and every one of us. Even the people that sometimes piss us off, you just got to let them go with love.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Love and acceptance.
Love and acceptance. Yes. And that's what it is. And Queen Latifah said UNITY. And that's the theme of my birthday party, by the way. Yay. So, so there. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, Tonya. And again, anybody dealing with the fires and stuff, seriously, please be safe out there.
And reach out.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Love you.
you.
Good night.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste here.